So what's up guys, it's Pranav from Hightech. So guys, in this video we will be talking about the two smartphones and doing a comparison between them. The first one is the Realme X7 Pro and the other one is the Xiaomi Redmi 10i, and we will be comparing both of the devices. Both of the devices have been launched this year, and in its own area both of the devices are better, and in this comparison we will be telling you which device is better. So let's get started. So anyways, let's talk about the phones. So we will be comparing two phones, you already know that. So let's talk about the specs of the Realme X7 Pro. So let's go. So first of all, Realme X7 Pro will be having 6.5 inches of screen. It's an AMOLED screen and it has 120 Hz of refresh rate. It comes with Android 10, and after that in the phone it will be having MediaTek's Dimensity 1000 Plus processor. So yeah, MediaTek has launched a new processor which is Dimensity, by the name of Dimensity, and it's going pretty well for the processors. So yeah, everything matters on the processor. You can say it is an upper mid-range processor from MediaTek right now, and it's doing pretty well. It's the second phone which is coming with this processor. The first phone, the Note 9, it's good with that. So yeah, let's talk more about the phone. So it is having 4500 mAh of battery, which is again a really decent amount of battery, considering that there are also phones which comes with 7000 mAh of battery. So considering that, it's a decent amount of battery, and it will last you a day, if not then half a day. Anyways, moving on, it has 64 megapixel of rear facing camera, plus 2 megapixel of depth sensor, and plus 2 megapixel of macro camera, and plus 8 megapixel of ultra wide angle camera. You will be using the 8 megapixel of camera much more than the 64, because obviously because of the size of the photo. The bigger the camera, the much quality it will produce, the much bigger the photo size becomes. Obviously you will go with the 8 megapixel of camera to get your pictures that you generally want to take the pictures, that type of pictures. For that you will use 8 megapixel of camera obviously. So anyways, coming on to the front of the phone, it will have 32 megapixel of camera on the front, and it will have 65 watt of fast charging, which is again really great thing about the phone, because yeah, in mid-range we will be getting 65 watt of fast charging. It's amazing. Yeah, the specs of the phone looks good to me. Moving on to the Mi 10i specs. So it will be having 6.7 inches of screen, and it will be having IPS LCD display with 120 Hz of refresh rate. But obviously it's not an AMOLED screen. Personally, I'm a fan of AMOLED screen, and yeah, I really like AMOLED screen. So in terms of screen, this phone is not really up to the mark, but anyways, it is what it is. It also have 120 Hz of refresh rate. Considering that, it's okay. But anyways, moving on, it also has the Android 10 in it. It will come Android 10 out of the box, and after that in processor, it will have Qualcomm Snapdragon 750 5G processor, which is newly launched from Qualcomm, and it's a really great processor for hardcore stuff, gaming and editing. It's a great processor. Comparing to the flagship type of processor, it's not that up to the mark, but yeah, in its own terms, in upper mid-range section, it is a really good processor. So yeah, it's really good processor. And moving on, it will be having 108 megapixel of camera on the rear side of the phone, plus 2 megapixel of depth sensor, and plus 2 megapixel of macro camera, and plus 8 megapixel of ultra wide angle camera. You will be using the 108 megapixel of camera whenever needed in specific terms, but obviously you will go with 8 megapixel of camera in generally clicking pictures. On the front, it will be having 16 megapixel of front facing camera, in which it will also have 4820 mAh of battery, yeah, 2% battery difference is there in X7 Pro and the Mi 10i. So yeah, considering that, it's not really a change. It will also last a day or half a day. Anyways, so it also having 33 watt of fast charging support in Mi 10i. You will be also getting that, and yeah, that's the specs. So moving on to the prices. So the Realme X7 Pro will be coming out at 23,990, and in Mi 10i it will be having 22,000 rupees in India. So yeah, it's 1,000 less than the X7 Pro. So now let's talk about the comparison. Which phone is better? Let's see. Let's first cover the design part. Okay, so in terms of design, Mi 10i takes a step further because of its glossy, I think it's glass on the back, so because of its glossy and colorful look on the black, the green and the tint of pink, like, yeah, it's type of pink. So yeah, it looks kind of really good to me. And Realme X7 Pro has also good looks, but in comparison with the Mi 10i, obviously Mi 10i is better than the X7 Pro design. So yeah, I really like the design of the Mi 10i, how they have done that. And yeah, in design wise, I really like Mi 10i. But moving on to the specs. So in terms of screens, obviously the X7 Pro in terms of screen tech takes the step further because of its AMOLED display. And yeah, if the Mi 10i have the AMOLED display, it would be really great. But anyways, obviously the X7 Pro has the AMOLED display. I really love AMOLED display. Anyways, moving on. So what about the processor? If we compare the processor, obviously the thing is obvious. It's so obvious that I don't need to tell you. Qualcomm Snapdragon 750 5G obviously takes a step further from the MediaTek processor, and it's a hardcore gaming processor. So obviously the 750 5G does better things than the Dimensity 1000 Plus. And yeah, in terms of processor, Qualcomm takes way ahead from the MediaTek processor, and we have also seen the benchmarks right on your screen. So you can see the benchmarks. In terms of benchmarks also, the 755G takes a step further and its score is better than the MediaTek Dimensity 1000 Plus. So yeah, what about cameras? Obviously the things are obvious here. Obviously the processor is better, the result would be better of the camera, and obviously it has the 108 megapixel of camera. And yeah, so in terms of cameras, Mi 10i here again takes a leap over here. And yeah, Mi 10i again gains some points because it will get more productive and quality pictures from the phone because of its processor. So it's the brain and everything is body. So brains work well and everything will work well. So yeah, in case of that, the processor is really great of the Mi 10i. So yeah, because of that, the camera result will be really great, and also it has 108 megapixel of camera. We should include that. Obviously, then here the Mi 10i takes lead. But in terms of front-facing camera, 32 megapixel of camera also gives really great result. But again, because of processor, 16 megapixel of camera is also capable of taking the same quality of pictures from the phone. Yeah. So in terms of battery is almost same, and yeah, it doesn't matter. It's almost the same battery. So in terms of the fast charging support of 65 watt is given to the X7 Pro, but Mi 10i is getting 33 watt of fast charging support, which is again really great thing. That doesn't concern me really, but if it does to you, then obviously the X7 Pro is ready for you. But doesn't concern me because 33 watt of fast charging for 4000 mAh of battery, it will charge in about 1.5 hours as far as I'm thinking. So yeah, that's concludes my review. And who is the winner? Winner is obviously the Mi 10i is the winner. You don't have to ask me. You shouldn't. I mean, yes. Because of the screen, I don't really fully give full points to the Mi 10i. But in terms of its price, it's 1000 less than the X7, and also it has a better processor and better cameras than the X7. And in terms of everything, Mi 10i takes a step further from the X7 Pro. So yeah, obviously the Mi 10i is better than the X7 Pro. If you want to go with the phone, which phone you should go with, then Mi 10i is for you. Forget about X7. Mi 10i is the new thing. So yeah, thanks guys, thanks for watching. If you like the video, make sure you like the video down there and hit the subscribe button. Turn on the bell notification, because you know I'm sitting here making the video for whom? For you guys. Come on, subscribe. I'm here. Have you done it? You should. Come on, let's do it. Yeah, thanks guys, thanks for watching. It's been Pranav and I'm signing off.